Like, I don't know whether to laugh at Cowboys fans or to feel sorry for Cowboys fans at this point. Like, the Niner in me wants me to just laugh at them because of how delusional they are and how much shit they talk. Hey everyone, welcome back to Unfiltered. We got Week 10 Fantasy Football. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also visit www.unfiltered.com. From there, you can see our merch links. We just got the new merch.
Hey.
X will have his here pretty soon. Also, on there is we have our social links, and then you can actually watch the video directly from the website as well. But as we do every week, we're going to go start and sits. We're going to go into the betting props for the week, and then we'll probably go into a little discussion, maybe talk about some of the free agency or the trades, I guess. Nothing too crazy. Some free agency ads. I know San Francisco got a veteran DB, but I mean, I don't really think there's anything crazy towards the trade deadline.
Kansas City did a lot.
But I'm saying, like, after our last episode, I mean, he already had D-Hop by the time we filmed last week. I mean, Jonathan Mingo to the Cowboys. Ooh, for something higher than DeAndre Hopkins. Ooh, way to go, guys. Way to go. Oh,
really,
way to go.
Really shaking it up. Shaking it up.
They might win their division now. I don't know.
Man.
Anyways, we'll just get straight into it, man. So I got Aaron Rodgers starting against Arizona this week. I like Aaron Rodgers only the fact that they got rid of Mike Williams. I wouldn't call that a big trade in my opinion. And two, him and Devontae Adams finally figured it out. Devontae got his touchdown. His fantasy points last week were really good. Arizona's offense has been, as you like to call it, weird. They can be good, they can be bad, but their defense is pretty meh. So for me, I like the matchup, even though it's in Arizona. I just think Rodgers has a really good matchup this week. A lot of good offense. Their defense played really well, considering all things. So because of that, I really like him this week. Second guy, I'm starting Sam Darnold at Jacksonville. So Sam Darnold started off really hot, has been kind of not so good the last couple weeks. But Jacksonville, besides maybe Carolina, is probably one of the worst defenses in the league. So because of that, a lot of teams score a lot of points on him, and I'm really early on. So I think because of that, I really like Sam Darnold this week with Justin Jefferson, Aaron Jones, Jordan Addison. All those guys are going to get a lot of production and get a lot of points. Sitting, though, and I think, honestly, until Nico Collins comes back, you're sitting C.J. Stroud. Even though Detroit's defense has given up a lot of points, I just don't think C.J. and Tank, considering that's the only guy he's going to throw to, and then Mixon just running up the middle, isn't going to be enough. And we got to see it last week in an atrocious game. I don't even know what I was watching. Thursday Night Football of the Jets and the Houston Texans. I mean, that was just, I don't know. I actually didn't even want to watch the rest of the game, so I turned it off. That was just the most embarrassing game I've ever seen in my life. So for me, as far as fantasy perspective, you're not going to start CJ. You're going to keep him bench until Nico Collins comes back, and then once Nico Collins comes back and he can start showing you that he can have a little bit of promise, then you can start him again.
Well, to be fair, hold on though. To be fair, you brought up the New York Jets thing. Who'd your boy tell you to start? Garrett Wilson. You're welcome.
I didn't have Garrett Wilson. I did not have Garrett Wilson. So
for everybody that did, you're welcome.
All right. So the last guy I'm sitting, and this is a guy that I don't think has made my list all year for even start because he's probably the best quarterback in the league, considering all things.
He is.
But, well, Angel would say differently. Angel thinks that Trevor Lawrence is better than Mahomes this season because of his stats. Yeah, that's a whole other discussion. For me, and I kind of just alluded to who I'm talking about. So I'm talking about Patrick Mahomes. He's playing Denver this week. Denver has a good defense. Mahomes has looked absolutely like shit this year. However, if you're going to the Super Bowl, and I just want to make this very clear, and maybe people can comment on this video or hit us up on Instagram or Facebook and kind of, maybe I'll put a poll or something. You're going to the Super Bowl or you're going to the AFC Championship game, who are you taking? The guy that has 3 Super Bowl rings or someone who doesn't have any?
No, you're always taking the Super Bowl guy.
I was like, name me a quarterback in the league that you wouldn't take over Patrick Mahomes going into the Super Bowl or an AFC Championship game. Or any championship game.
Yeah, you're going to take Mahomes. Not an active one, no.
Right. I'll say Tom. Tom's the only one that can beat him. But that little blurt was for Angel, since Angel is so delusional. He would be a really good resident delusional Cowboys fan. Maybe we can start a segment with that. I don't know if I can get him on though. He's just, some of the shit he says is crazy. But yeah, Mahomes, I don't like it. He hasn't been doing really hot. just if you have another option, I mean, unfortunately, some people don't, but just don't expect it to be a high-scoring game.
Wow.
X, who you got starting this week?
I'm kind of blown away about the Mahomes thing, honestly.
Yeah, I know.
I would still start him, but hey, to each their own, I guess. I'm
keep the
actually.
new sticker, by the way.
Oh yeah! Look at that,
There you go.
dude. Look at that. That just made that water bottle 100 times more desirable.
What about that sticker
on there?
No.
Sure. Yeah, let's go with that.
You're like, no, you don't need that sticker.
Well, maybe if you put another face on there. But anyway.
Ooh, that's a shot. That's a shot at the boy. Oh, no. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
So I'm going to start Daniel Jones against Carolina. I like it. Daniel Jones is coming back. He's coming back, dude. Carolina cannot get it together. Daniel Jones is going to have a lot of opportunities. I think that Daniel Jones has shown that he can make a strong case against a crappy team, and he's going against a crappy team. So he'll probably have a good game. I'm not seeing really much that Carolina's going to really do. Next, you're starting Herbert against Tennessee. Tennessee looks atrocious. Their defense is good, but their offense gives up the ball in 3 seconds. So even with Will Levis, even with Mason Rudolph, that's going to happen. Herbert has made something out of nothing with nothing. So he's a good start against Tennessee. He's going to have a lot of opportunities. I don't see why he wouldn't do well. I'm sitting Murray against the New York Jets. Kyler Murray is an absolute garbage of a quarterback. If you have him on your roster, trade him. Try and get something. Find somebody as delusional as your resident Cowboy fan to try and get somebody else, like at all. Like Daniel Jones is probably a better fit, to be honest. But Kyler Murray is absolute garbage. He's got to turn into Anthony Richardson in my hate category, and it's gonna be terrible. No. The Jets
Maybe
are starting to get.
I wouldn't take Daniel Jones rest of the season.
No, I don't know. I wouldn't take Murray for the rest of the season. I might just run that quarterback slot vacant at that point.
Oh man.
Next, you're gonna sit May. You're gonna sit May against Chicago. Chicago has too good of a defense. May is kind of that like on the fence one for your 2 quarterbacks leagues, your super flex leagues. I understand that quarterback waiver wires in Superflex or 2 quarterback leagues are slim. Like the best that I could get for this week was Daniel Jones. So it's rough. It's rough out there, boys. So May is not one that you want to start this week. Try and find somebody else on the waiver just for a week, and just see where that goes, because that one's a rough one.
Running back, I'm starting Tyrone Tracy Jr. That's New York Giants. Running back, for those of you who don't know, Saquon Barkley left to Philadelphia this year, as everybody knows. Well, I thought Eric Gray was going to be the next guy up. Devin Singletary showed a little bit of promise, but he kind of fell to the wayside. Tracy Jr. has been showing a lot of promise, and they're playing against Carolina. And because of that, I know Daniel Jones gets a lot of the rushing yards, but I really like his matchup this week against Carolina, who's an absolute seller this year. The deadline, and they're just, honestly, they might have the first overall pick again. How they beat the Saints last week, I have no idea, and I kind of don't want to go down that rabbit hole. But anybody against Carolina has proven that they're going to have really good matchups, especially for fantasy purposes, so you're starting them. This next one might be a little bit of a controversial pick, personally. I think it's more of a recency bias, and just the fact that Zach Moss is now in IR, as I'm starting Chase Brown at Baltimore. I think by the time when I was watching the game, I think he had more than 25 carries last week, but he got a lot of touches. But Baltimore's defense has not been good. Their run defense has been not good. Their passing defense hasn't been good. He's been getting a lot of catches. I know. It's a weird game, right? But because Chase Brown's the only guy back there, I like his volume, and his volume makes him viable for me. And if he's not getting on those goal line carries, the 1 yard line, he's going to pop in for a touchdown. That's what he did last week.
Here's the problem, though, is Baltimore's offense with Derrick Henry and Lamar. You have 2 running backs. They're going to kill out the clock. Nonetheless, too, they're going to end up being behind. So Chase Brown isn't going to get that many carries. Like I'm not seeing them being able to stop Baltimore's
But even
offense
if he
to
doesn't
where
get a lot of
they're going to
carries,
be using them.
they're gonna just dump the ball off. Zach Moss isn't there no more. They have to dump it off to Chase Brown. There's
But
nobody
see,
else
here's the
left.
thing. Here's the thing, though, is Baltimore doesn't have enough pressure for him to have to go to a quick check down like your running back. It'll be a check down to like your tight end, but it's not going to be that quick of a rush to where you're going to have to throw to your running back. I don't know. That's a weird one.
I felt very confident in starting Chase Brown this week.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah,
We'll see.
my lock of the week, dude. That's my lock of the week for sure.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah. I'm sitting Kareem Hunt versus Denver. As I explained earlier, Denver has a really good defense. Kareem Hunt usually does pretty well, but he likes to run up the middle. He might get some catches out the back. I just think this week is not a very good matchup for him. Denver does have a better front line than the Niners do right now. For whatever reason, I don't know why it is, because on paper it doesn't seem like that. But as all their matchups in the last 9 weeks have proven, Denver's defense is really top tier for whatever reason. So I just don't like Hunt this week. And I'm sitting Javonte Williams this week. So Javonte Williams is playing against Kansas City this week. Kansas City's front line has been freaking awesome this year. And I think that's honestly why Kansas City has been in a lot of these games, is because their defense has been so good. And because of that, Javonte has been falling off. Now they have a third string running back that the coach, Sean Payton's saying, is going to get more playing time. It's not looking good for Javonte Williams. So I think until he's shown that he can be putting up consistent numbers and that the coach has faith in him again, you're going to kind of put him on the backside and look for other options this week. X, you got started at running back this week.
So I got Dobbins against Tennessee. You're going to notice a trend with these lists because there are a lot of teams with a lot of good matchups all around the board this week. Tennessee, same issue we went through with the quarterbacks, is that their offense is so bad that their defense just gets tired of getting to sit down for like 20 seconds and then running back onto the field. So Tennessee's front is very good, but Tennessee is in a full rebuild, so they're just playing just to be out there and get paid. You know, they're doing it just so they don't get fined. I'm just here so I don't get fined. But Dobbins should have a good game against Tennessee. Tennessee's going to give them a lot of options. I don't think that that they're going to be coming from behind against Tennessee, so that run game is still going to be prominent throughout the entire time. I'm also going to start Aaron Jones against Jacksonville. Jacksonville is a awful team. That offense sputters a lot in Jacksonville, so it's kind of weird to say whether they're going to do good or bad. But Jones has been having a pretty consistent year to where I think he'll be a solid start. I'm sitting a chain against the Rams. The Rams offense. The Rams offense has every piece when Puka's not a POS. Oh my God, dude. He cost me. He cost me the game. He cost me the game because he wants to be stupid and think he's tough. Like, bro, he has a helmet on. Like, I don't. Oh, man, that's a hot take right there, brother. Why are you going to punch somebody with a helmet on?
So you're talking about Puka. So don't punch a guy with a helmet on. We know that.
That's
unless you're Trent Williams, because Trent Williams don't give a shit. So
yeah, Aaron Donald was stupid too. But anyways, so a chain against the Rams. When the Rams have their entire offense, the Rams are a good team. They can burn out the clock. They can game manage, and they have that potential to just throw a deep bomb. Puka, Cup are going to get it done. Apparently Robinson's now in there too, and Matt Stafford's going to be he's able to throw those deep bombs. So I don't think that a chain is going to have enough value to stay consistent and stay reliable to get a lot of carries. He might be working out of the backfield, but even that's a little questionable sometimes. Then you're going to sit Pollard against the Chargers. This matchup against Tennessee and the Chargers, if you have any Chargers player, you're playing them. Because Tennessee is just a joke of a team right now. It's a rough life to live. We're in a rebuild, so, got to suck up these next 3 years or so of terrible. And so you're going to sit Pollard.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Pollard's the only decent player on that team, man. I mean, he
I
had a really
agree.
good week last week. No, I mean,
I mean, yeah, he was in double digits, so
I would argue Chargers front line's pretty good. So I mean, it makes sense.
I mean, the Chargers are making something out of nothing because that's just great coaching. So,
Well,
you
yeah,
know,
that's fair. So receiver, I'm starting George Pickens, man, and it's a super biased pick, and I don't care. I really don't care. So a little context to this. I traded for George Pickens because I needed a receiver really bad, and that was the only one I could get. But I think he's ranked like 14 on the charts this week of top receivers. Washington's defense hasn't been anything extraordinary. They're pretty average, but I think just with the addition of Mike Williams, if they even throw him out there, he's not going to know the playbook. He hasn't really done anything this year. He's going to be more of a distraction, if anything, in my personal opinion. So because of that, I do think that George Pickens is still the guy. And I mean, he had almost like 3 touchdowns. 2 of them got called back last week. Was it last week? Yeah. Right? Yeah, bastards. But I think he does really well this week. I think he'll get a touchdown. I don't think it'll be a big boom game or anything, but I think his projected points, he should get it. So for me, if your receivers are getting what they're projected, that's all you can ask for, right? And next, Tank Dell. So even though I don't like CJ, and I think I said that last week, and I still said to start Tank Dell. He did very well last week, and I didn't start him. So this week, you're going to start Tank Dell against Detroit. Detroit's defense hasn't been great. They've given up a lot of points. I still don't think CJ's going to have a good game, but I do think that Tank Dell will have a good game. And I know it's weird to say, but it just makes sense if you look at it fantasy-wise of what quarterbacks are supposed to put up compared to receivers. I really like Tank Dell this week. Sitting Marvin Harrison Jr. against the Jets. Man, I think I am the last one on this train because you have been saying it, I think, for a bit now, that Marvin Harrison, well, it's not that he's not good. He's great. Kyler has been not so good at getting him.
Yes.
And he's only a rookie, and I would argue, though, if he was on a better team, he'd probably have really good stats and probably be in the race for a rookie of the year. And it was looking like that for a couple weeks. But the Jets defense has been very good. They've been very strong. They've honestly been tired most of their games because they're on the field quite a bit because Aaron Rodgers does a lot of 3 and outs. But with the addition of Devontae, I just think that the offense is kind of moving a little bit more. And with him being out there getting doubled, obviously, as you said, like last week, Garrett Wilson's going to be a little bit more open. And now Breece Hall can start getting in the mix and Braylon Allen. I still don't think they're going to use Tyler Conklin, so I wouldn't worry about him. But I do think with them being on the field so much that their defense is going to have more time to rest, and that's going to put even more pressure on Arizona. They're going to be throwing the ball a lot. Good luck trying to go against Sauce. And that's probably who Sauce is going to be on is Marvin Harrison Jr. I really do.
Is Sauce still injured?
I don't think he's playing. Yeah.
Interesting.
So I just don't like that matchup for Harrison. And then Jalen Waddle. Man, what a disappointing year. Let me tell you. Obviously he wasn't 1A or 1B because, Tyreek, but like he was the next guy up. And he was still fantasy viable to start every time, even if with Tyreek playing, like you were going to start Waddle. Obviously, we're talking about last year. This year, man, how the mighty have fallen. Obviously, Tua got hurt. We all saw that. I don't know if I want to recreate it for content reasons. Oh, Jesus. But, Los Angeles Rams, their defense isn't anything crazy, but for the same reasons as I said earlier with the running back situation with a chain. For me, I just don't trust Waddle this week. I think the only guy I would like is Tyreek for speed and just his ability to move. And so I just think that's just where it's kind of at. I'm almost just so solemn because like I was really high on Jalen Waddle, like football
I like Waddle too. I love Waddle.
On fantasy,
I really do like him.
It's just it sucks, It's just he's on an unfortunate situation.
Potential.
He has a lot of potential.
He has such like stupid amounts, and it's just getting squandered, unfortunately.
Yeah, but actually, starting at receiver this week.
So we're starting the boy Jay Williams from Detroit. We're starting him against
stop. Talk about bias. Oh, bias.
No.
Just because he was available, you're like, I'm going to pick him up and I'm going to start him.
So here's what I want you to know.
Freaking
in my
PDs,
other league,
bro.
In my other league, I've had him the entire time. So now this makes it easier for me to track every single week. And I'm okay with that. So he's had only 2 single-digit games. Other than that, He's gotten 29 points, 15 points, 20 points, 19 points. The boy's consistent. And then he had a bye week thrown in there with his 2 bad games.
And then he got
and then,
busted for PEDs
and then
again.
He was an idiot. And then he started running from the cops, man. Like, come on, dude. If the cops are being dumb, bro, just sit there, take it, whatever, dude. Let them be stupid. Like, come on, bro. Don't run from the cops. Anyways, he has a good matchup against Houston. Houston's offense right now is an absolute mess besides Mixon. Mixon's about the only one doing anything. So Williams, I think, will have a lot of opportunity. Houston's defense is just like Tennessee's. They're starting to get tired because they're constantly on the field. So Williams, I think, is going to have a good day coming back. Like I said, Houston's defense is just too tired to do anything. So I think he's a good start. Then you're going to start Addison against Jacksonville. I like Addison. I've always liked Addison. Addison has a bunch of talent. It's just unfortunately overshadowed by Justin Jefferson, which is fairly put because Justin Jefferson is one of the best receivers in the NFL. So
the best receiver in the NFL.
Yeah, I would say one of, but yeah.
He's the best.
Sure. Anyways, Addison has a lot of potential. It's just unlocked, unfortunately. So I think against Jacksonville, they are going to focus on Justin Jefferson, and I think he's going to have a lot of opportunities. I'm going to be sitting Brian Thomas against Minnesota because the Jaguars are still trash. That doesn't change anything. He is great. He's done a very good job. However, not a good matchup. This is not a good matchup. Minnesota has shown potentials of a fraud alert, of being a good team, but I still think they are a good team. I just don't think they've really pushed themselves above the NFC championship point. I think they're good enough to get there. I don't think they're good enough to do anything there. It'll be a blowout by some other team that's much better. But they are still a good team. And then I'm also sitting the boy who you just said is probably the only one worth anything, Tyreek Hill against the Rams. That Josh McDaniels' offense is getting figured out. That's part of it. The other part is that Tua likes to go head first into everything. So with that, Hill is too much of a risky pick. He's too much of a risky pick. He's not consistent right now. I think that if you put him on a better team with a better quarterback, yes, I think he would be Justin Jefferson type level. Hill going against the Rams. The Rams obviously have a really good offense to where they're going to burn out that clock. And all the reasons that I said before about Miami still are valid. So Rams are going to kill out the clock. Tyreek's not going to get a lot of opportunities, in my opinion.
Like with most things going on in today's world, agree to disagree.
You know what? We are probably one of the few people in the world that can do that.
That's fair. All right, next, tight end. So I said last week you weren't going to start this guy. Now you are. He had more points than Kyle Pitts. Hurts my freaking soul. But he has a great matchup. You're starting TJ Hawkinson against Jacksonville. Jacksonville's defense sucks. TJ should have a good game. If Justin and Addison recovered, who are they going to go to? The guy in the middle that should be just a big receiver. So starting him. And what do you know, man? Remember last week we were like, K. Dotton, who's that? He sucks. It's just a one-time, two-time. Baker has nobody else to throw to, and your boy's always open. So even though this hurts me to say because it's against my team, K. Dotton's going to have a touchdown against San Francisco, and he's definitely worth a start this week. Just for the sheer fact that he's the only guy on the team that Baker Mayfield has any kind of rapport with, and that's what he's throwing to. And it's not a big surprise.
Fair enough.
So, you're sitting Schultz. That's Houston's tight end against Detroit. Schultz has really been a non-factor, which has been weird because last year he had such a great year. But this year, considering how many injuries that they have, you would think they would have tried to turn to him or trying to make some more plays. And he's just been blocking a lot. And but CJ doesn't want to throw to him. So
you can tell that the offensive play calling is trying to use all the wide receiver weapons. Right. It's not really trying to focus on him at all.
if they opened him up and made him a threat, then that'd take eyes off of everybody else and allow everybody else to have a lot more open plays.
I agree.
But
I
it
agree.
is what it is. And you're sitting Cole Kmet. So Cole Kmet, I think, had like one great game this week, even though he has a good matchup against New England. I don't know if I trust Caleb in that Detroit offense. The Chicago offense. They had a great couple weeks, and then it was like crap. 2 games good, and now it's crap again. I don't know what's going on over there. DJ Moore owners understand. But Cole Kmet, kind of a non-factor. I wouldn't start him against New England this week. Actually, you got starting in Tynan this week.
So starting, I got Laporta. Finally going to put him on the starting. I've been sitting him so many weeks that I had to introduce him back to the starting lineup. Going against Houston, we beat that with a dead horse. There's a lot of good matchups this week, boys. Then I'm going to start Kincaid against Indianapolis, another trash garbage team from the AFC South. We are the trash division again. And Kincaid should have an opportunity to be good, depending on what Josh Allen wants to do. It's weird. That offense is one of the weirdest offensives I've ever seen. There is no understanding what they are doing. I swear their offensive coordinator has a giant monitor up there, and he's got Madden 25 on, and he's just going through the playbook like, oh, well, boys, we're running this thing. I don't know. Madden told me we're going to run this. So I don't understand that offense, but Kincaid has a great matchup. I don't see why you wouldn't start him. Sitting, the run's finally over for the boy. You're sitting Hunter Henry against Chicago. I know. I love the boy Henry. I'm still starting him because he's kind of my only viable option. But Chicago just has a really good defense. Unfortunately, that's just kind of where it's at. Like you said, you already talked about their offense, so I'm not going to beat that with a dead horse. But it's sad to sit the boy, but the sun sets in paradise every once in a while. So this is unfortunately the week. Then you're sitting Taysom Hill against Atlanta. I don't know why he's generating all this type of hype again. He does it every random week. And fantasy football is reactive, not proactive. He had his good week. He's done for another 4 weeks. Don't start him for another 4 weeks. Don't.
Yeah.
Jeez. What was it? Don't be a Leroy.
Don't be a Leroy.
Is that what it was?
Never heard of that.
Brother. Remember at the very beginning of it?
No, don't be a Larry, bro. Don't be a Larry. Don't be a Larry, bro. Come on. Don't be a Leroy. We love Leroy, boy. What you know about Leroy Jenkins, son? Leroy Jenkins. We love Leroy Jenkins, boy.
Oh, boy, dude. We just showed our age right there.
No, dude. You don't want to be a Larry, though. That's the one thing you don't want to be a Larry. So,
don't want to be a Larry. Right now, we're almost getting to we don't want to be a bet. I'll stop there.
Yeah, you need to stop. Like I said, when we start getting into that stuff, do you agree to disagree and move on?
Yeah. Someone's gonna get a little salty. You don't need those texts. You don't need those texts.
But no, definitely not. But I will just add Taysom Hill. I think if New Orleans decides to switch it up and use him a lot more, then he might become a viable option. But
he's not.
They do need to figure out something. But for right now, I would kind of leave him on the bench, and I agree with X on that. But defense, you're starting Minnesota for things that we said throughout this entire start and sit. Jacksonville's trash. Even though Trevor Lawrence, for some reason, has better stats than Mahomes, you still don't trust Trevor Lawrence. I don't care. Minnesota's going to get it done. And then you're starting the Chargers defense for things that we already said against Tennessee. Chargers defense is really good. They have a great front line. Jim Harbaugh is a great coach. The team's well coached. Their defense is great, which allows their offense to – they're not always the greatest, but allows them to be in the game and to handle business. You're sitting Dallas. And honestly, for the rest of the season, you're not starting Dallas.
No.
Dallas is trash. Dallas is done. Yep. Jerry Jones' big move was to grab Jonathan Mingo for a 4th rounder who literally is like the last receiver on the depth chart on that team. I don't know what's going on over there. But they're playing Philly, highly explosive offense. I like Barkley. I like Hurts. I don't know if A.J. Brown's playing, but it really does not matter. They're going to get the job done for sure. You can bet the house on that. I promise you Philly's going to win. And then you're sitting Pittsburgh D, and that one is kind of weird for me, but only because Washington's offense has been so good and so explosive.
Yep.
Even if Brian Robinson Jr. doesn't play this year, you still got Austin Eckler, who absolutely went off last year. And I think everyone's like, oh, Austin Eckler got old overnight. It's like, no. Like, him and the Chargers was kind of a unique situation, and it was a splitting apart of, him from the team. But I do think that if he was given an opportunity to be the lead back and get all the downs, that he'd be very viable like he was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So just because of that, I like Washington this week. I don't really like Pittsburgh's defense. X, who's starting this week at defense?
So starting, I got Buffalo against Indianapolis. That is self-explanatory. We've already beat that with a horse. We're not going to go any more into it. Then you're going to start the New York Giants against Carolina. You're going to start that defense. Yes. Carolina is still garbage. That's not going to change. New York Giants are trash. So, garbage, trash. Garbage, trash. So you're going to take the trash over the garbage. So, New York Giants, I actually like this matchup. I think Daniel Jones does well against crappy teams, as we've been over. You're sitting Houston against Detroit for obvious reasons. We've already kind of beat that with a dead horse, so we'll move on. Like I said, you'll notice a pattern with my start and sits because there are good matchups this week. You are going to sit, however, the Chargers defense against Tennessee.
What?
Tennessee's offense still is a wild card. They might suck, but they're still a wild card to the point where you're not sure what they're going to do. It's just safe. It is safe to not do it. They're not as bad as Carolina, New England, right? Because Tennessee beat New England, so they already showed that they're better than them. You're just be a little careful with that if you're going to go that route. Just be a little careful. Just remember, your boy warned you.
Yeah, I don't know about all that. But next, we're going to go into our Week 10 games. This is where we're going to talk about the money line, the over-under, and the total. So first things first, we got Cincinnati Bengals Thursday Night Football against Baltimore Ravens. Ravens are only favored by 6. It's not bad. It's a divisional matchup. Makes sense. For me, I'm taking the Ravens at the money line. I'm taking the Ravens at -6. The total's 52.5. Yeah, give me the over. Both their defenses have been trash.
Yeah, I'll agree with you with that. Yeah, we'll go with this.
Next game, we got a 6:30 a.m. Pacific or 9:30 Eastern game, so it's probably in England if I'm going to be honest.
No, it's Germany. This one's Germany.
It's in Europe. It's somewhere. It's somewhere. Anyways, so you got the New York Giants who are favored by 6 against the Carolina Panthers. I do think it's safe to say that the Giants will win this game.
Yeah.
I don't know if they win by 6, but I think for the sake of it, I'll just say that they win by 6.
Yeah.
So the total's 41.5. Honestly, I'm going to just put the over. I do think that's a little low. I mean, both their defenses are not very good in my opinion, so I think it'll be higher than them scoring 21 points each. So, or 21 points each.
I'll go lower. I'll go the under, but I'll take the Giants though.
Okay, next game we got San Francisco. Ooh, they're only favored by 5.5 against the Bucs. So I'm taking the Niners at 5.5. Super biased. Money line for sure in the Niners. The total's at 50.5. I do think it's going to go over because the Bucs. Baker Mayfield figures it out, dude. He scores, and I don't know how he does it. He'll figure it out. He'll score. He'll put some points against us. I would argue that our corners are more vulnerable than our front line, so I can see them throwing the ball quite a bit. And they're probably going to be from behind. But I will say this. If Christian McCaffrey's active, and this is something I put in the last segment, you're starting it. For sure. Without a shadow of a doubt. Jordan Mason's hurt, and honestly, he might not play. I mean, I think his days are over fantasy-wise. So, and I think with the introduction of Christian McCaffrey, the Niners are going to look really good. I mean, he was literally the reason why we went to the Super Bowl last year. So, because of that, I like the Niners at -5.5, -250, and the total at over 50.5. X?
I'm going to take Tampa Bay. I'm going to take Tampa Bay.
Stop.
I'm going to take Tampa Bay.
I'm going to take Tampa, bro.
I'm going to take Tampa Bay. I'm going to stay under.
You're crazy, bro.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Next
yeah.
game, we got New England Patriots versus Chicago. Chicago's favored by 6. The total's only 38.5.
Whoa.
Yeah. So I'm taking Bears at -6. I do think they win just because the Patriots are so bad.
Yeah. I'm going
The
to go
money line.
over.
Oh, you're going to go over
I'm
on that
going
total?
over.
I think I'm going to go
Yep.
under. I think I'm going to go
Really?
under.
Ugh.
For my fantasy team, I hope it goes over, but my heart says under.
Chicago's
So
defense is too good, dude. So Chicago's going to score all the points.
I don't know if they're going to score, though, because Caleb's been playing like crap.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
So I'm taking the under. Next game, we got Buffalo. Buffalo's only favored by 4. That's crazy. Against the
Wow.
Colts. I would say, like, if you're going to bet on the spread, bet the -4 on the Bills all day. That's easy money. For sure. The total's 46.5. I think it'll be over just because Joe Flacco is their quarterback and Josh Downs might get a touchdown here or there. But I'm taking the Bills this week for sure.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Cool. Sorry, Thor's right here and he's interested in what we're doing. Thor, you want to see the people? Oh, hi, Thor. All right. A little too low. Sorry. A little too high. There we go. All right. Next game, we got Denver versus Kansas City. Kansas City is favored by 8. Yeah, I think that's fair. I mean, I'm taking the Super Bowl champions at -8. I'm taking the Chiefs to win, and then the total is 41.5. I think it'll go over. I think it'll still go over.
Yeah, I'll take that. I'll agree with you.
Next game, Pittsburgh Steelers versus Washington Commanders. Commanders are favored by 3. For sure, taking the Commanders at -3. The total is 45.5. Yeah, you know what? Give me the over because if I'm taking Commanders, then I think they have to score. I think Steelers will be able to score. So, yeah, I'm taking the over at 45.5.
Yeah, I'll run with you on that.
All right. So you just disagree with me with the Niners and everything else, huh? You disagree with me, huh? You bastard. Next game, we got Atlanta Falcons at -3.5 versus the Saints. I like Atlanta at -3.5 as a divisional game, but the New Orleans Saints have been absolutely terrible. I don't know what's going on. How's Kamara been? Have you seen anything crazy from Kamara? Not really, right?
No, he's still running with broken ribs, a broken hand, but he's still
That's
putting up
right.
big points. Big points.
Well, so I like Falcons winning, but I don't know if I like the total at 46.5, so I'm going to go under.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, next game. Minnesota Vikings favored by 4 versus Jacksonville. The Vikings are favored. Moneyline's -200. The total is 47.5. I think that's high.
I think so too.
I don't know if I like that just because I don't know what Jacksonville's going to bring to the table. So because of that, I think I'm going to take the under on it, but I'm definitely taking Minnesota at -4.
Yep, I agree.
All right, next game. Tennessee versus Los Angeles Chargers. The Chargers are favored by -7.5. I think that's the biggest. Oh, no, sorry. The Chiefs are the -8.
Yeah,
the Chiefs. The second biggest point spread of the week. The total's only 37.5. I'm taking the under on that too, just because the defenses. But I'm definitely taking the Chargers.
Yeah.
Okay. Next game, we got New York Jets versus Cardinals. Cardinals are favored by -1.5. Absolutely not. You're taking the plus money on this. The New York Jets are going to go to Arizona and win. The total's 46.5. I think it's going to be over, but I'm for sure taking the Jets.
Yeah.
Okay.
I agree.
We're on the same page. Just against not the Niners, though, you bastard. Just did that to piss me off. All right, next game, we got the Eagles. They're favored by 7 against the Dallas Cowboys. It should be -21 because the Dallas Cowboys are absolute shit. Jerry Jones is a shit show.
Yeah.
I love watching Stephen A clips on YouTube. It's the most fun thing to do, or TikTok. Like, oh my God, it's so fun.
Yeah.
But anyways, I'm taking the Eagles at -7, and the total's 42.5, and I think it'll be over. I think Dallas can score CD plays with Cooper Rush. So
I'll run with that.
All right, next game. We got 2 more games left. We got Sunday Night Football. We got Detroit favored by 3, only 3.5. Wow, favored by 3.5 points versus Houston, and the total's 48.5. I'm taking the over only because Detroit's defense hasn't been anything crazy, and with I know, but with Aiden Hutchinson not there, they got somebody else, but I mean, it's still not Aiden Hutchinson. You can't replace that guy. I'm definitely, if I were to bet, I'd bet on the spread, that being over 3.5 easy. So I'd definitely bet that spread. The total, I mean, I can see it either over or under. I'm going to take the over, but it sounds like X might take the under.
I'm going to take the under.
Okay.
But I agree with the team.
Okay, next game we got Miami versus the Rams. The Rams are favored by -2.5. So I do think that's fair.
Oh,
I know it's a close. I think it's going to be close. I think it'll be close in my
no,
personal opinion.
I don't think
I
so.
think the Rams win by 3 for sure, but the total's 50.5. I think I'm taking the under that.
Oh yeah, you're definitely taking the under, but I'm going Rams.
Yeah, I'm taking Rams too. All right, so at the end of the show, sometimes we do a little overreaction, underreaction, panic versus don't panic. Lately, we've been doing hot takes. I kind of like those a little bit better. I will just say this, and then this is just more of like a moment with Rod, I guess, if you want to call it that. So for me, this trade deadline there wasn't really anything crazy. I believe Detroit got a defensive end. I mean, no one's going to replace Hutchinson. You can try your best, but in my opinion, you're not going to replace him.
There was a lot of defensive movement.
Right, but it wasn't like big names. Like Cooper Kupp didn't get traded, or we didn't see those big boom. Jerry Jones is like, I'm gonna go get some guys, and we're gonna be good. Blah blah blah. It's like, dude, you got Jonathan Mingo for a 4th round pick when DeAndre Hopkins got picked up for less, and is gonna be a way better receiver than Jonathan Mingo is. Like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know whether to laugh at Cowboys fans or to feel sorry for Cowboys fans at this point. Like, the Niner in me wants me to just laugh at them because of how delusional they are and how much shit they talk. But at the same time, it's like, they're not going to be the first overall pick. Like, I hear a lot from Angel, oh, we're going to get the first pick. I'm like, you guys are not as bad as Carolina Panthers. So I don't think that's going to happen. So, and I don't see a world where they go and get Shador Sanders either with our top quarterback. They have Dak signed for the next, 3 years, 4 years?
I think, is it 3?
I believe so, because this is 4. Maybe it's 4 more.
Interesting.
So I don't know what's going on with that. But yeah, I don't know. I just think trade deadline this year wasn't as overly crazy as I think I had hoped. A lot of the trades were kind of earlier on, like the Amari Coopers and the DeAndre Hopkins and the Deontay Johnsons and stuff like that. But we'll see what happens. I think as a Niners fan, I'm happy that Christian McCaffrey's going to come back. And I think depending on what he does in the Tampa Bay game, we'll kind of determine how our season's going to go for our team specifically, whether we can make it to the playoffs or not. But that our division's wide open. I know your team's probably in the battle of the boo-boos right now between you guys and Carolina. So
I'm hoping we get 1st round pick. We take an offensive lineman, 2nd round pick, offensive lineman, 3rd round pick, offensive lineman, 4th round pick, offensive lineman, 5th round pick, offensive lineman. Yeah. You get the trend.
And that's what you guys need. I will say this though, I am interested to see if anybody actually truly wants a delusional Cowboys fan segment. So if you guys do, I gotta hit up the boy Angel. He says things like, "Oh, Mahomes is not the greatest quarterback of our generation. Oh, Trevor Lawrence is a better quarterback than Patrick Mahomes." I'm like, all right. So if anybody wants a delusional Cowboy segment, let me know in the comments, and if I get enough responses, then I'll make it happen. I'll figure out a way.
I do believe that Patrick Mahomes does basic ass shit sometimes, and people just think it's great because Patrick Mahomes does it. I will say that. I will say that. 100%. Well, no, and I agree. I agree. But this little like shovel pass thing that he does, like, bro, any quarterback can do that, but no quarterback's dumb enough to actually let the ball like go like that. To be honest, I think every time I see that shovel pass, everybody's like, oh my god, it's like the greatest thing ever. I'm like, bro, that's dumb as fuck. Do you know how slow that ball is traveling like through the air?
It's a very
you really understand that?
It's a very shortstop move because he used to play baseball, and I used to play baseball. You know that. So that's a very shortstop-esque move. Like that's like his shovel pass is like him throwing it to the second baseman. So
that's awesome if you're playing baseball.
Combining worlds, but I'm saying he's combining worlds and it works for him. I'm not saying it's ideal and fundamentally correct as far as technically, but
I don't give a fuck. Bitch, you're playing football.
He's 9-0.
You're playing football.
He's 9-0.
No story, bro. But nobody gives a shit about your gay little shovel pass, bro. Like that's terrible. That's awful. That's awful. Like, why would you do that? That hang time is so stupid. Like, all it's gonna take is one dude to just hop that little route. Like, I understand he doesn't do it every time, but bro, there are so much better passes. Like, I actually saw a clip of Herbert. Herbert did this amazing pass, getting just ripped by the demons of hell down to the ground, and he just throws this pass, dude. Beautiful, beautiful. gets a first down, gets some good yardage after it. Bro, nobody talked anything about it. Patrick Mahomes just ties his cleats, and everybody's, oh, it's the greatest thing in the world. Like, bro, he's really, like, he's a great quarterback, bro. Like, he's awesome.
He's the only quarterback in the league with three Super Bowls, man. I mean,
brother, he's the best active quarterback right now, 100%, right. No question. Right. But he's not revolutionizing the game, bro. Peyton Manning revolutionized the game, but Tom Brady was the best to ever play. Like, that's just how it goes. Like,
that's fair.
But Patrick Mahomes is like, yeah, no, bro, no, I'm not buying into that.
I'm going to do a little transition here, and it's going to be a hard transition, but you made a little comment earlier in the show, and it kind of, you're a little ramped up as it is. So what are your thoughts on a football player or a receiver specifically, or as we like to call him, Bebo's Puka Bear, or whatever the fuck he said. I forget whatever I sent you. Freaking weirdo. But so Puka throws a punch at a guy with a helmet on, which is dumb to begin with because he has a helmet on. But we've seen people do it in the past. So
right. So I'm gonna just put it out there. If you punch, or there's a video clip, for example. It's all Rams players because Ram players are fucking stupid. But anyways. There's a clip of Aaron Donald, right? Everybody thinks, Aaron Donald, like this crazy mean man. Rah, he's so scary. Like, bro, Aaron Donald is not scary. He's a bitch. He's a bitch. And here's why I'm going to tell you he's a bitch. Because there's a clip of Aaron Donald after the game's done. He's pissed off at some dude. He's sitting on the bench. He gets up, grabs his helmet, puts his helmet on when the other dude doesn't have his helmet on. Shoves him and starts a fight with him. You want to know how much of a wussy you are to do that? Bro, you're not a man, dude. You're not a man. 100%. You're not a man. You're going to put on your helmet so you don't get hurt? Like, bro, you don't need to. That's not your moneymaker, bro. You're ugly. You're ugly as fuck. Like that, what are you protecting? Like, what are you protecting, bro? Nothing. So keep your helmet off, be a man, and fight this dude like a man. But no, you want to put your helmet on. It's stupid. It's stupid. That's that's like having a battering ram next to you, but still punching the castle. Like, yeah.
I think hockey players, don't they like take their helmets off and start?
Hockey players, oh yeah, dude, they take their gloves off, they take everything off. Dude, they would strip down naked if they could. Like, they'll fight naked on the ice, bro. Like, those are men. Like you're gonna. It's stupid. Okay, so first off, it was an overreaction by the refs to kick him out for a little punch.
Yeah, I saw the clip.
What I would have done.
It was anything crazy, but he still threw it though.
No, so what would have happened? What should have happened was a flag, personal foul, on Puka, right? His first personal foul. Next personal foul, he gets ejected. That's what should have been said.
Right.
1, he should have got the personal foul for throwing the punch. 2, he should have got the personal foul for being so freaking stupid to punch a dude with a helmet on. That's idiotic, dude. That's idiotic.
Like I said, you're punching a more than anything. I think you should have shoved because he got shoved. You should have shoved
him on the ground. Shove him on the ground. Shove him on the ground.
Right.
Spit on him. I don't care. I don't care.
Tua.
But, dude, give him a little hot Tua, dude, if you need. I don't know. Whatever makes you feel better. But really, you're going to throw a punch? You're going to throw a punch right at his face mask? Yeah, bro, that's really going to get him. If I have a helmet on, dude, punch me in the face all you want. Like, I swear, not going to hurt me, bro. Like, feel free, dude. Like, I'll wear a visor and everything, bro. Punch whatever you want. Like, let your anger out, dude. But it's stupid. So he gets ejected for that. I lose my game. I lose my fantasy game. My epic comeback dies because of that.
This is where
my epic comeback dies because of that.
Dude, so this is what it all came down to because your fantasy team
lost
because Puka got ejected from the game.
He's fucking stupid. He's a little bitch, dude. I hate him. Oh my god.
Funny.
If he didn't actually be like a very good receiver, I wouldn't have him. Get him out of here, dude.
Oh man. I think you should trade him to me. I think that's just what you need to do before the deadline. I'll give you George Pickens for him.
Dude. Yeah, okay. Stupid.
I'll give you Pickens, and then I'll give you Chuba Hubbard.
You know what, dude? I might just change my name. I might just change my name in our league. Puka's stupid.
Puka's
stupid. Watch, dude. I'll get a trade request from Bebo like that, dude.
No, but don't be a Puka. Don't be a Puka.
Dude's a dummy, dude.
I will say, so do you still think Rams are contenders this year? Are they contenders or pretenders?
I would say they're pretenders because I don't think their defense is good enough.
Okay.
Their defense is good enough to get them a wild card, but that's it.
What about? I'm just going to pick some teams in that division. Obviously, I think I already know how you're going to feel about Arizona. What about Seattle?
Wild card.
What about the Niners?
Wild card.
You're crazy. One of them has to go. One of them has to win the division.
Well, yeah, they'll win the division, but they'll still lose in playoffs. Like, sure, they'll lose divisional round. One will go in, and, like, if anything, they are equivalent to wild card teams. That's what they're equivalent to.
All right. What about? Let me say
they won't go
this.
any farther.
Since I know you don't like talking about the Cowboys, but I do, because all I have to hear is all day long about Cowboys this and excuses this and referees this. Well, Jerry Jones this. I mean, Jerry Jones is your problem to begin with.
He's stupid.
But, I mean, they could have had Derrick Henry. Does CeeDee Lamb have more production with Cooper Rush, bearing that obviously the CD plays, as compared to Dak Prescott? And the only reason why I say that is because in the past, when Cooper Rush has been the quarterback, CD has been performing halfway decent.
No.
You don't think so?
Because I think he's going to get pressure too much. I think he's going to hold on to the ball too much. And that's going to be his downfall. He's going to go through his progression slow. There's a reason why he's not starting over Dak. Like, there's a reason why that is.
For sure.
Like, at the end of the day, that is what it is. It's either his progressions are too slow, he's going to hold on to the ball too long, he's going to make inaccurate throws, he's going to force passes. If he wasn't doing those things, then he would be starting.
Do you think Trey Lance gets in the game this year?
No.
With the Cowboys?
No.
No, not at all.
Trey Lance is an insurance policy. Every team saw what happened to the 49ers when they legitimately had no quarterback, and a lot of teams are scared of that.
Okay. So, in your mind, who do you think is the two teams that go to the NFC Championship? I'll tell you mine. Since your team's AFC, I think it's going to be Eagles, Detroit, and I think Detroit goes to the Super Bowl. If it's not the Niners. I still obviously have my bias for the Niners, but
I think it'll actually be Eagles, but I think the NFC Championship game will be Detroit and Philly. AFC Championship game will be Ravens and Chiefs, and I think the Ravens win it.
What? The Ravens?
Yep.
I think the Chiefs figure it out like they do every year, dude. I think it'll be Chiefs. I think it'll be Chiefs, Detroit, and I think Chiefs win again.
Brother. Ari's home.
Yeah, let me close this door. Hold on.
So.
All right, I'm back. Sorry.
So the reason why I think Baltimore gets it done is because now Baltimore has a running back.
That's fair. I just don't know. I think their defense is going to have to be better than what it is right now. Because their defense last year, I would have said yes if they had the offense this year. And the last year's defense.
The offense makes up for it with Deontay Johnson, Zay Flowers. They have.
Deontay Johnson didn't do anything last week, though.
Brother, it takes a little bit of time. DeAndre Hopkins didn't do much, and now all of a sudden he's putting up 30s.
But then Amari had a great game his first week and then hasn't done anything.
I hate Amari right now. He's my project child, but I still hate him.
Should have traded him.
I hate that I love him. I hate that I love him.
So you're saying you're thinking Eagles, Ravens Super Bowl, and I'm thinking Detroit Chiefs Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm. Battle of the Birds, brother. Battle of the Birds.
I'll say this. I think to those who are still listening, because I know it's a long-winded episode. In the comments, tell us who you think's going to the Super Bowl this year, or if you want to say NFC and AFC Championship, maybe I'll make it a poll question. I know Spotify can do that for us. And I can also post it on Instagram and Facebook. So I think that'll be a good ending point, is let's see what the people think. and we'll kind of go from there. And like I said, the goal is to still do a live episode by the end of the year. At some point, I want to do a live episode, whether that's after fantasy football, maybe, where we could just get on and start talking shit with people, like on TikTok and Instagram Live, and having them ask us questions or shoot the shit, or be like, Niners suck, Titans suck. I mean, that's probably what we're going to get a lot of anyways at that point. But I think we should do that. I think it'll be a lot of fun. And like I said at the beginning, if you've not, please like and subscribe. Check out our website, www.fantasyfootball.com. You can see our merch. We got our merch. We got the stickers. We got hats, hoodies, dog bowls, dog bandanas, toothbrushes, you name it. We got it. Candles. But on the website, you can look at all of our episodes. Everything's listed there. Everything we have going on, our social links. And anything and everything is basically there at the website. So if you want to go searching for us, you can go there. That's your one-stop shop. X, thank you for joining me. Very soon, X will have his merch. I got a nice t-shirt with his name on it. Hopefully I'll get my hat here pretty soon. And I don't know if I have it right here next to me or not. I have a nice mic for him too. But
the boy will be sounding crisp.
But I think I'm going to need him to have a little background update though. So we'll see. But anyways, thank you for sticking around. Thank you for coming on, X. Appreciate it. And until next time, everybody. Peace.
Later.